just want to be able to see my son when I want to see my son, take my son when I want to take my son. Like, I don't care if this made me look childish. If I
DDG, I'm gonna give you some advice. You should have married that girl. I know it's a little too late to take it, but you should have married that girl. I know y'all like to shun marriage and y'all like to try to hold it off until you 65 and one foot in the grave. But especially in a situation like this where you want to be in your child's life, you had all the time in the world. You could have did it while she was pregnant, before she was pregnant, after she got pregnant. You had literally all the time in the world. And if she was on board with it, you would have a lot more access right now, a lot more say. But since y'all like to weaponize marriage, now look at you. The same thing that y'all tell women, I'm gonna have to tell you. You should have got a ring. Should have married that girl. Now, obviously, this will not work on 99% of the ninjas that's out here because most of them don't want to take care of their kids anyway. But to the ones that do, to the ones that do want to be in their children's lives and whatnot, why put a baby in a woman that you're not going to marry? I mean, I feel like this question is only asked to women, as far as like, why would you have a baby by someone who wouldn't marry you? And now you're out here stuck. You have no rights, you have no standing, very little standing. Yes, I assume that the paternity has been established, so we know that you're the father, you're claiming that you're the father, all this and that or whatever, all that's good. I assume that you probably signed the birth certificate, so those are all good things. You're in there, you're solidified. But you have no rights and no say to when and where you come and pick that child up, etc., 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 especially since you haven't gone to the courts already. And I assume that you will in the future, but even still, once again, you have less standing because y'all weren't married. And depending on the state, and I assume that y'all probably in California, you have way less standing. And that's not to say that she's going to keep the kid from you or you don't have no rights at all. But marriage is not just a piece of paper. It actually matters. And one last little word of advice to my girly girls out here. I'm on the train of don't have no kids right now, but if you insist on having a kid and you're not married to your partner, do not let him sign the birth certificate. Because when I tell you you're going to be tied to that person, I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. You're going to be so tied to that person if he signs that birth certificate and say y'all split ways or whatever, and you're taking care of your kid and whatnot. Now you got to go to him and get his permission for everything. Going on a field trip, getting medication from the doctor, getting passports for sure. Trying to take your child out of the country, that's going to be a no-go if you don't have that other parent's signature. But if they don't sign the birth certificate, you're good to go. So think about those things, especially if you're not married to the person who you're having your children by. And DDG should have married that girl. Now look at you.